What exactly is the upper class? Do you really know? Welcome to the Shikama Live Show. Today's topic is, what is the real upper class? I talk a lot about the upper class, but I've never really defined it, and I don't think a lot of people actually know what the upper class is. If you listen to the Wall Street, Occupy Wall Street crowd, the upper class is the 1%. But the 1% starts at $300,000 a year. That is not the 1%. You could be an entry-level financial planner and make $300,000 a year. I don't mean just working your first year. I mean that the position has one rung to it. That is financial planner. And you can make $300,000 a year. And you don't even need that many clients. You just have to have the right clients. So, obviously, I would not call somebody who is a financial planner and has 20 accounts in the upper class, meaning he's a part of the elite. The very first overall overarching definition of upper class is somebody who is elite or rich. So what really is the upper class? First of all, you have to have money. Money as in income. You have to have a certain amount of income. You have to have a certain amount of power. This 1% definition of upper class completely is destroyed by that second part of it, that you have to have power. A financial planner has no power, meaning he cannot walk into the governor's or the mayor's office and say, hey, I want you to do this. Somebody who makes $300,000 a year does not have power. They might have more income than a lot of people, but they do not have power. Influence, meaning that you are able to influence massive amounts of people. Not that you just can walk into the governor's office or the mayor's office, but that the things that you do influences other people more than just a few. Wealth. Wealth is different from money or income. Wealth is you have an ongoing and passive income that's coming into you. The financial planner might have some residual income coming in, but the crux of his income is going to be that he works every day, and he works hard every day, and he's trying to get more and more clients. Therefore, he's not wealthy. He might have a nice income, but he's not wealthy. Reputation. The upper class have reputations that they maintain, keep, and they're sort of above board when it comes to certain things. Like, if something were stolen, you wouldn't look to an upper class person to think that they stole it. And I'm not talking about these people who say, well, I would, I'm an equal opportunity hater. I'm talking about reality. The reality is that you do not suspect an upper class person of doing something petty or a lower class. Community. An upper class person belongs to a community. They belong to certain groups, golf club, country club. Belonging to those groups doesn't necessarily mean that you're upper class, but more than often you're going to see them belonging to certain groups. Exclusivity. They have exclusive entry into certain businesses, entertainment, dining, vacationing. Very exclusive. Something that you don't even know about unless you're in this particular group, this exclusive group. New money, there's this opposition between new and old money. New money, all of your items are at luxury level. So you don't just have a desk. You don't just have a chair. You have a opulent desk, large, heavy, made of rare woods, finished in rare finishes. Your chairs are handcrafted. Your furniture is handcrafted. The clothes you wear are handcrafted. Now that distinguishes, more than likely, that actually distinguishes new money from old money. New money will buy the latest trends, whereas the old money will have handcrafted and handmade and tailored items made by actual people and not pressed on a line press or something like that. And that's one of the big distinctions between new money and old money. New money will go out and buy a very expensive car, whereas the old money, their cars are actually handmade. When you get into that level, you'll have handmade. And handmade usually means that it's going to last actually an entire generation or multiple generations. You might have furniture that is 300 years old. That's upper class. Having a lot of money isn't just it, and having a lot of money isn't just it. Upper class is a completely different, a whole new level. There is this notion of the upper class being untouchable. I mentioned the reputation, and that the upper class, you would not suspect an upper class of doing petty things or petty crimes or something like that. And a lot of times they are untouchable. You don't burst into the offices of certain law firms or certain banks and accuse them of doing things, or charging them with things, or arresting them for things, even though it might even point to them. More often than not, you can't pin them down to begin with, so they're corded off and protected by waves and waves and waves of people that you would have to go through to even suspect them of doing something. And more often than not, you can't even touch them because they're just so far removed from certain things that you don't even really come in contact with them. Now, you can be very rich and still not be in the upper class. The upper class is a completely different animal. Now, there is this thing going around, I don't want to say new, CNN, MSNBC, going around terming black people, because black people can't be in the upper class, right? We have to be something else. This term called the new black overclass. And that's defined, it refers to self-made black multimillionaires, many of whom grew up poor, have made significant fortunes in industries such as sports, entertainment, and media, and are under 40 years of age. It has been no secret that many artists, many sports people, all the way to the gladiator times, to the Roman gladiator times, have been very wealthy and lauded, and riches given to them. But the white media would have you believe that they're not upper class, they are the new black overclass. I don't even know what that means. Why would you come up with a new term, overclass? Does that mean something? The overclass part means that they're just opulently wealthy. They can't just be wealthy, they're opulently wealthy. They're not normal. It's abnormal that these people are making this much money, that they're making $40 million a year, $60 million a year, $100 million a year. They're the overclass. They can't be upper class. And to this term, I'm going to get into this later, but this term, it annoys me because you can't have black upper class. realistically, you cannot have black upper class, at least in the United States, because a lot of the real upper class does not mix with other races. You might have upper class in China, upper class in South Africa, upper class in Nigeria, but upper class in the United States very much so has to deal with all of the factors that I just listed. And you cannot have, or you will not have, a black person being a part of the upper class. They might be invited to a dinner. You might see them at a function. You might see them at the opera, the ballet, what have you. But they're not invited to the secret meetings, the secret deals, the exclusive deals, the exclusive wealth meetings. They're not offered, and here is a thing, and here's something that really does go on. They're not called up and said, we're going to start this company. Can I put you down for $100 million? They're not offered that. This is one of the things that defines you as upper class, that you get exclusive business deals, that you're offered exclusive investment deals, to the point where you're just in a realm all by yourself, to another realm all by yourself. And here's a very big distinction of being rich and being upper class. Those in the upper class derive their income from investment and capital gains, and not income. So that really means that you do not work for a living. That is something else. And a lot of people cannot conceive of this, that you wouldn't get up, get dressed, take a shower, get dressed, and get ready and go somewhere to make an income. I know Robert Kiyosaki talks about passive income, and he talks about being in the fourth quadrant. The fourth quadrant is really a part, being just in the fourth quadrant is really a part of the upper class. That is where you want to be. I would dare say Robert Kiyosaki is not even fully in the fourth quadrant. He still goes out and does things to make money, to create money, sells products, actively is engaged in making money. Fourth quadrant people, or upper class, are directly in the fourth quadrant. They don't do anything to actively make money. They might do stuff that makes money. They might start a business. They might, but that's a pet project of theirs. They might own horses that race in the Kentucky Derby, but that's not where they get their money. They might even make a few million doing that, but that's not where they get money. They get their money. That's a project. To be really in the upper class, it really literally means that you do not do anything actively to make your money. Everything that you do is passive. And that's a distinction. That's a distinction also with the new money and the old money. The old money is just there. They're just there, and the money makes money and makes money and it makes money. I know people talk about the Bilderberg and the Illuminati. This is how the Bilderberg and Illuminati actually function. And I'm not giving credence to the conspiracy theories. I'm telling you how this is how these people make their money. Once again, money, power, influence, wealth, reputation, community, exclusivity, and residual passive income. All right. Thank you for tuning in to the Shikama Live Show. Leave a comment, subscribe, and thank you for watching.